I don't know. Seems like every time I turn around, I'm in the Star Wars room. What's up, fellas?
It's our favorite room.
Yeah, you guys know.
This is where we live.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
Our beds drop down from the ceiling.
I mean, you guys know. You guys have seen Matt here, but today we have some more Jedi wisdom in the room. We got Brian with us. Brian, thanks for coming, bro.
Oh, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about another one of the prequels. Where we're at now is at number 3. And by the way, maybe 1 and 2 were kind of sketchy, however, depending on how you look at it. But number 3, what do you guys think? I thought it was a little better.
I like 3, yeah, I think it's a good one. It's definitely got the best story and plot, and it's the most true to the original ones, right?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly doubt that George Lucas even filmed it because it was so good. It was, I mean, it was like 1 and 2. 2 had some moments in it that I really liked, right? I really liked Obi-Wan sleuthing and trying to detect all that stuff, going to Camino and stuff. I thought that part was cool, right? But then 3 was like, they're just already in the middle of the action. I like how it starts off kind of like, you don't really know what's going on. You go around the big kind of, Republic destroyer or whatever, and then there's this great battle. It's a battle like we've never seen before because it's in the atmosphere. Yeah. So you can actually see kind of smoke because I guess there's a little bit of air up there. But it's just really exciting and colorful and visually stimulating. And I love the new Jedi Starfighters. But and then there's also, I'm sorry.
No,
is this okay? I'm just rolling
because
I really love the scenes when they're rescuing Palpatine, right? And there's no music. It's just kind of eerie. There's some scenes in that, and especially in that first act, where there's just no music. There's just action.
What's the first one where you get to build the dynamic between Obi-Wan and Anakin? Because the second one, they're apart almost the whole movie. Yeah. But this one, you really get to finally feel like they're friends.
And they refer back to stuff that we haven't even seen.
Yeah.
The Nest of Gundam.
Yeah. Remember, Master.
Remember, it was 10 times.
Yeah. That business on. What is it? That business on.
That business.
That doesn't count.
It's like all those movies. Remember.
Yeah.
The
Clone Wars.
Yeah. No, it's interesting that this is really the movie that we were all wanting to see in the prequels. Like we were wanting to see when does Darth Vader turn, how does he turn, and then what was kind of the collateral damage.
It's the movie I didn't realize I wanted to see because and I really liked it too because this one was dark. Yeah. Right. And I liked
super dark.
The tone
first
of
PG-13.
It was compared. Yeah.
Is it?
Yep. First Star Wars movie to be PG-13.
The tone of it, because it was so dark. I mean, it's dark subject matter, right?
Killing younglings, you bet.
Oh man,
that's the darkest.
No.
But it is dark as compared to Empire Strikes Back. Because of its tone, which that's my favorite one, obviously.
Yeah. No, this was a different film from what we already got from the first 2 for sure, and so. I guess everybody knows that we were slamming Hayden Christensen because of how that was. Before that, it was Jake Lloyd. But in this one, even though the acting was still kind of wooden in places, did you guys buy the love story at all still? Because there was a little bit of that dragging over from Attack of the Clones.
No, but I'm used to seeing women with bad guys, and they think that there's something there. And
but they have no chemistry. I mean, it's right. She's is 3 the one where she does the... So love has blinded you? Is that that part is terrible.
That's the cringe.
He's so bad. I mean, he's so terrible. And again, it's not a knock on Hayden Christensen. Right. He's been in
because we've seen him do good.
I was just saying, we've seen him in movies where he wasn't bad, but as Anakin, maybe it's the direction he's being given. He sucks.
George Lucas is on record saying that he would just prefer working with digital actors. So.
Yeah. Hayden Christensen is like maybe that bridge to digital. He's like Pinocchio, but he's so bad. But the Hayden Christensen, if you had a really good actor playing Anakin Skywalker in Episode 3, you might have the best Star Wars.
You might,
like, truly, sincerely, that's my biggest problem with the prequels is that it's all supposed to build up this friendship between Anakin and Obi-Wan, so that when what you know is going to happens, it breaks your heart, and it kind of does because of all the work they put in this movie. But I don't know.
Yeah, with the exception of some, really hammy scenes like Jimmy Smith stuff, which we love.
We love
we love the Jimmy Smiths.
We love Jimmy Smiths.
But we love them because they're so silly and, like, out of place. They're just, like, weird performances.
Really poorly
They
done.
are, and
so
actually this is the first time we've ever seen Samuel Jackson even look like a cardboard cutout. His lines, I thought, were just absolutely horrible. And of course, we're just talking about the things at first that kind of stood out that were bad, but there are some good things, and we're going to get to that as well. And definitely Brian knows even more than we do about this, because he actually loves this film more than me, for sure. And I imagine more than you, probably.
I think so.
I'm one of the few that really likes
I've grown to like it more through our talking about it and watching it, because there's scenes in this movie that you just have to realize are spectacularly bad, and you have to love them for that, like Jimmy Smith.
Well, I mean, whoever was shooting it, allegedly George Lucas was behind the camera, or at least directing it, but the compositions in episode 3 too. I mean, there was something, I don't know if he just finally, like, really cared about it again, or because it was dark, he let himself go to a dark place, but just compositionally it's beautiful. I mean, if you look at the art of Revenge of the Sith, the designs of everything, I don't know. I mean, you'd think they were all tired at the end of making these, 3 movies.
Yes.
But somehow it becomes the best one. That never happens.
The third one, you're right.
Yeah. A second one's never as good as the first, typically, right? And the third one. But it was almost like...
Godfather or something?
Well, to George Lucas, in his defense, maybe he hadn't made a film in a long time before he did episode 1. It was like, I'm going to make it, and, it was like, I'm sure he's really rusty. And then 2 was a little bit better, still almost impossible to watch. and then 3, all of a sudden, you're like, I mean, to me, I was telling you this earlier, I like it better than Return of the Jedi. If I had to choose, I could only watch one.
There are parts that I like better, but overall, I really love the fight scene in Return of the Jedi at the very end, when he just starts killing Vader.
You see, and you're both making a great point about this, and so I guess I'm the third person, so I'm the tiebreaker, I guess. So I'm actually going to split it. So if we're talking about just the first half of Return of the Jedi, I'm still going to take Return of the Jedi. But if we're talking about the back half of Return of the Jedi, then I would say that I could see where you're coming from, Brian, on that. Now, see, the interesting thing about these movies for me as a cinephile, for sure, and this isn't just Star Wars, is you've got to make me invest in the characters. The characters need to go on an arc that doesn't seem forced, right? And so I think that's the stiffest parts about this. When Ben Kenobi and Anakin are talking, you were supposed to not join them and all this stuff, and it was kind of like, but you went there to kill him, though, Ben Kenobi. You went there to kill him. Whereas in the original trilogy, Luke Skywalker went there to change his dad. Remember, he didn't go to kill his dad. He went to change him. But Ben Kenobi said earlier, in exposition, he said, I don't want to kill Anakin. Send me after so-and-so, Palpatine, but not Anakin. But he goes after Anakin. So he's there
ultimately, he had to
and then
do
he
what
doesn't
he must.
kill him. He kind of says, I'll just leave him for dead. And then he kind of walks away. And then he throws in the thing about the high ground. And so these are just tough things about it for me as a person trying to get into the characters. And then being a big Samuel L. Jackson fan and just watching him going, we're here to arrest you.
Yeah.
You then fought him and y'all were fighting to the death. You were going to arrest him with who? So it was just some things that I think from the performance standpoint it wasn't good. But to your point though, the cinematography of the whole thing, it was beautifully cut. In fact, that first scene where we're in the ship and then we go, it almost seems like one solid shot like in Birdman. Now there was too much stuff going on after a while. I thought it kind of overdid itself there, but the shot itself, I'm with you.
The design and everything, like, they were working through filming with digital cameras, right? Episode 1 was actually shot on film. Episode 2 was shot all digital. And they had issues with that, but by episode 3, like, they had it down. It was looking good, and they knew what they were doing. They had really kind of figured out how to merge the green screen, sets in. And I don't know. It was down, and it was good.
It's like a winner.
Everything looks good. Even like the props and the costumes look better.
Yeah,
and
I'm saying the whole design of it.
Yeah, they definitely were starting to find
the costume design was completely unique compared to the first
if you seriously think about that. If you have a good actor playing Anakin Skywalker, that movie could have been great.
We got cool new ship designs, like this guy.
Kind of looks like a bug.
I don't know if it actually is that functional, like, really, but I love just how it's like an old kind of, World War II bomber, with a gun in the back, but it's kind of the throwback to the X-Wing, but, it was super cool.
Yeah, there were more toys that they could sell, and with that, and they did it, and it was a good idea, and we can't take that away from them. So I think right now out in the universe, a lot of people have talked about what's wrong with the film. So let's talk about some of the things that we actually did like about it, and the more specific you can get, I think those people will be happy about it. But in your mind, I'll just start with you, Matt. What's your favorite part of that?
Of episode 3?
Yeah.
I really like, my favorite part of episode 3 is Ewan McGregor. He is so good in that movie. Like, his acting is almost so good that it kind of brings, some performances can bring up an actor. He brings Hayden Christensen up, know. The dynamic between them is so good. Everything with Obi-Wan.
He carried that whole movie.
And episode 3, with the exception of the part where they shoot, when he's on the big lizard, and they shoot it, and the lizard is like cawing.
Right.
Other than Obi-Wan riding the lizard, everything about that movie is good. There's a scene where he's like up in the ceiling, like hiding, and he jumps down to Grievous, and he puts his thing back, and he's like, "Hello there." And it's exactly like in episode 4 when you see Obi-Wan go, "Hello there." Yeah. So he did such a good job. Yeah. I feel so bad for him. Just because he tried so hard and he did so good.
I don't. Why do you feel bad for him? Because he is. I think he's the star of that movie. I think it.
Well, he should have been.
Like through episode 2, through episode 3. I mean, it's more about the pain that Obi-Wan and what he had to struggle with, and the fact that he did have to go face Anakin and take care of that. I mean, he created a monster, right? He argued before the council to take this on.
Remember? He's only doing this because Qui-Gon. So we got to blame this on Qui-Gon yet again. Liam Neeson, because remember, he hated him. He hated him at first, and then once he died, it was like, oh, you have to train him, so I promise now. But other than that, I'm with you.
Who do you feel bad for? You feel bad for. Obi-Wan's the one that has to go live in exile, and if you want to ask me what the thing I like the most about it gets me every time. Like, if you're actually paying attention to it, the separation of the twins, right, and them going to their respective worlds where they're going to grow up and their families, and then you're witnessing. I'm just getting chills right now. Because you're witnessing the birth of the original epic.
In so many ways, because at the end you see the skeleton of the Death Star and Grand Moff Tarkin.
I mean, that whole segue and just setup made a lot of atrocities in the prequels. I can deal with those, but having that setup and kind of filling in the blanks, which episode 3 really does pretty well.
They had a lot to do in episode 3.
It does.
It's like we're so far behind, we have to play catch up. So. What's your favorite part?
My favorite part in that would be the Senator Palpatine. Ian McDermott.
His performance?
When he's sitting down, his performance, when he's sitting down, seducing him the way he talks.
Oh, in the theater? I love that part.
The dog, the long.
Some would consider to be unnatural.
And the way he just says it, and he looks over to him like, can I actually even bring people
I do love that scene.
And I love how he's just seducing him, and maybe it's just that accent that he has, but he's really just laying it on about, because Anakin goes, can you learn that from the Jedi? And he goes,
not from the
Jedi. Or maybe he even just said it without even being prompted. But that was masterful. At that point in the movie, I sat there and I went, that's convincing. Now, the rest of it was kind of screwed up, how he was over there and he was ready to turn him in 15 minutes ago, and then later on he's ready to just get on his knees and join him. That was all crazy. But
tell me more about this new cult.
Well, I can do what now with this?
Can anyone join?
Now, I'm not too smart, but I can bring people back, so you know about Padme dying? Is that what you're telling me here?
That's weird.
But there's a whole pyramid scheme, too, and there's it's part of the sales pitch.
You have to sign up 2 Siths, and they sign up 2 Siths.
I'm thinking about it. Can you see Palpatine pulling up at McDonald's?
No.
Before you go any further, no.
Can you see it? Because he's such a master manipulator throughout this all 3 of the prequels he was doing this. I can just see him come up there. You want to give me this particular value meal for nothing. You hate your job here, but I can show you how you could make more money at Burger King.
Yeah,
You can see him working the person in
I
the
can
line
definitely
going,
see him
"Here,
as a
just
poacher.
take it."
As a poacher of
Corporate
men.
recruiter.
Can you imagine him? He's just because people are just kind of like, to me. I just
Drama,
listened to him, and I was like, man, he's almost like the Purple Man right here,
Yeah,
right?
Well, if
I agree with you. Yeah.
If Anakin wasn't so hung up on losing his mother, right, and not having the power to bring her back,
Mm-hmm.
that's ultimately what his weak link was, and how he's able to be seduced.
Yeah,
But credit to Palpatine for knowing how to
yes,
target
crowd.
those, and
that's right. And see, now this leads us to today now, because we know that J.J. Abrams is not going to completely skip the prequels. He's going to pull some things from there as well as he is the OT. And this is just the rumor mill going, but I like to think that since we haven't seen Snoke yet, I'm wondering if he's Darth Plagueis the lies. I'm just wondering.
I saw a thing about that, and I read through it about the most convincing thing they had was the what do you call the art, the Macquarie art, concept art.
The concept art. Yeah.
One of the concept art looked a lot like. To me, it looked a lot like. What's the Darth? I never remember. I never forget it. I never remember his name. Darth.
Well, there's Tyrannus, and then
No,
Plagueis.
Plagueis. Yeah, Darth Plagueis. He
That's
looks
what
just
we're
like
talking
Darth
about,
Plagueis.
Yeah.
So.
See, and I'm thinking that because in the prequels, Palpatine is Darth Sidious, though they don't call him that a lot. So maybe like he's Palpatine. Maybe Snoke is his one name, but his Darth name is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, not that that's gonna happen, but it'd be interesting because think about it. If JJ puts this film out and he takes from all the OT and none from the prequels, that's gonna make some people mad.
Well,
I guess that would be the.
Always two there are.
right?
Right.
That would be the best time to seize power, right? Like, he just got thrown down a mine shaft, Vader's dead. Now's probably the time to be like, make your move, I guess.
So if you were
Somebody must have, right? Because the stormtroopers and everything still exist, so somebody must have jumped in and...
yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah. So if you're J.J. Abrams and you get to pick anything from the prequels that you might slide into the film, what would you take from to put in Force Awakens?
From the prequels?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's already done that.
Okay.
And that would be, of course, the two droids that are pervasive through the entire series, right?
Okay.
Well, but we already know that.
I'm just saying, like, if there's anything else, I'm like...
That's fair. Well, then
So nothing that we know about, but...
Yeah. I mean, if you were going to take anything from the prequels, which,
Do you already have your answer queued up?
If I were going to take anything from the prequels, it would be that conversation that he's having with Anakin, and somehow Kylo Ren now is playing back the archives and he finds this, and I could see him going, "Oh, I got to learn that because that's what Anakin was going to do." Because he says, "I'm going to finish what you started," is what Kylo says. So how does Kylo know what all happened since he wasn't there? The only person that knows what happened was Luke. Luke was the only one that saw him change, right? Everybody else was trying to get off the Death Star before it blew up, right? So if you got that tradition from anybody, you'd have to get it from Luke, and unless it was stored somewhere on some tapes and he recovered them,
Oh,
So I'm thinking if he's a real fanboy of Darth Vader, why wouldn't he want what Darth Vader wanted and be the one to actually do it, like to be the first Sith Lord that...
Are we able to talk about rumors and stuff?
Sure, absolutely.
So, I mean, there was that rumor early on for Force Awakens that, lightsabers found, and I don't know that that's been debunked.
Right.
But
I think it's pretty...
What if that were Mace Windu's lightsaber?
Well,
I want to know what happened to Mace Windu.
Why does it say BMF on it?
Yeah, because while we're talking about
Like his
Episode
wallet.
3, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's Jules. That's so many guys. That's Mace
Yeah.
Windu.
He's so good as
He just gets a hand cut off and gets, lightened out a window.
Did you do it in a
right?
voice? Like, lightning down.
Yeah, exactly. Right? But I mean, he's a Jedi.
Right.
He got lightened out.
He got lightened out.
He got lightened
That's
out.
Coruscant, man. Like, the chances of him not hitting a vehicle...
Yeah, they're better than him.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
come on. So, I mean, he could be the one touching R2, right? Mace Windu could be still alive in
How
The
about
Force
that?
Awakens.
How about
I
that?
think his answer's
How
pretty
about
good. That's a
that?
pretty good answer.
I want to know what happened, because I don't think he's dead.
Yeah. Well, maybe this Maz Kanata person who's been around for a long time talking about seeing people
Yeah.
making their eyes and
I've
stuff.
seen your eyes.
Mm-hmm. What if she has some
That's Canada.
Nice.
No, I think that's good. But so, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that I would love to see taken from the prequels. Just
That's cool.
because he was so good. Sidious sold that.
Yeah, I would love for them to figure out a way
Teachings of long lost. You know, it could be like a book on tape or like Tony Robbins.
They have the holocrons, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that would be good. So now, as we kind of move to the end, because we're going to do episode 4 next, that's also coming up for you for next week. I just want to ask the one question that you guys probably want to know. We know you're going to see Force Awakens, but the question is, how many times are you going to see?
He's already bought.
Force Awakens?
Well, we have.
I have plans to see it twice.
Yeah,
the
he already
first
has
weekend.
2 plans to see it. So
He's going to see it twice the first weekend.
I don't know. I guess it depends how good it is, how much I want to see it.
Well, you're so selflessly here at the store every day.
Yeah, so I would have to just go before or after we're open. But I do predict that I'll see it at least twice, maybe 3 times.
Okay.
Because I'm one of those people, right? That if I see a movie and I like it, I'll keep it. Like I saw the Avengers, the first one, a few times.
Yep, sure.
So,
and Winter Soldier, I saw a couple of times.
I did.
I think so. I feel like I even know there's going to be so much in this movie that you're not. It's going to take several views before you can really
totally
even
agree.
see it all.
So
And
here's the way I'm going to watch it out there, Vegabomber Landians. It's like this. The first time I see it, it's going to be with all the guys. We're all going to go see it at the Alamo Draft House,
we'll all
right?
be there.
That's that. But then Friday morning, 9 o'clock at the matinee, I want to go there because I know no one's going to be there Friday morning. So I'm going to need to call in sick Friday morning. And that's so I can sit in the theater with probably 6 people and just kind of take it in by myself. I have to do that. And then because I have a gang of friends who want to go see this their first time, I'll go with them. So I imagine the first weekend,
That's at least 3 for you.
I can see it at least 3, anywhere from 3 to 5 times just in the first weekend.
you should figure out how many times technically you could actually see.
But we can do that.
Yeah.
If you guys know,
But I'm with you. I'm with you.
know.
Because you want that experience the first time seeing it with the fans and people screaming and reacting. I mean, it's a very organic thing,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And then, but just like you, I've purchased, IMAX 3D because I figure I want to see it as big and bad as it can be.
3D.
9 a.m. on a Sunday morning, right?
See?
I don't expect. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people because it's Star Wars, but I think it'll be tame and we'll be really focused and
you
just
will
really
be.
soak it all in.
Well, that's a good thing. Well, guys, that Jan lets us know where we're at now, so we're at the end. And he did that on purpose, though. He didn't do that on accident. He did it on purpose. That was the new thing to keep us on time, because we could talk forever about Star Wars. Good news. Of course we could. That's right. That's his greatest.
I actually talk Matt to sleep every night.
See a movie about a boy living far, far away.
He's just a boy.
Did this. Brought people together. How
Yeah,
crazy
it really
is that?
did.
It really did. There's no way.
It brought me and Rachel together as
See?
well. Like
All the
Star
people
Wars.
in here.
I mean, there's a whole story on that.
See, and we might have to ask her when we do episode 4, which is coming out for sure. So, just to let you guys know, we're at Lost Toys, and this is the famed Star Wars room that you've heard about, that we posted about, that we've talked about on Twitter.
That you've dreamed about.
And you dreamed, absolutely. But don't come in unless these guys are here, or else we would call that stealing.
We'd have to call the police.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, we're here 7 days a week, so they never have to worry about
that's
that.
And that's the thing. What is it? 11 to 7?
11 to 7, 7 days a week, sir.
7 days a week. Who's doing that, right?
Just us.
It's these guys. Well, guys, once again, big high five.
Whoa! Double high
This is
five.
good. We got the double high five going. So don't let this mess you up. Whatever we said here today is just definitely our opinions, but I will tell you this, though. You know this movie is going to be great. And if you want the toys from episode 3, they're here. So let me introduce, humble brag, whatever for these guys. You know, that it's here. Just ask them. They'll help you out. They'll walk around. They'll point you out. They'll tell you some great anecdotes about how they picked this up. You know, all that little stuff that us nerds really like. We have to have all the information. There's an expanded universe about this store.
Including the crispy Anakin. We've got him.
We've got crispy Anakin.
Well done,
see?
Anakin.
That's right. Without the limbs. It's the quadriplegic stuff,
Yeah.
right? I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ben Kenobi should have took care of him, but that's all right. Well, guys, we're out. I'm the Vegabomber. This is Matt. This is Brian. And...